Greetings from the House of Representatives chamber here at the Georgia State Capitol. Today marks the end of the 18th day of the 2012 legislative session. There are 22 days remaining in the session. The pace of legislation picked up this week as bills began moving through committee and actually being passed in the respective chambers of both the House of Representatives and across the way at the Georgia State Senate. The fortunate thing for us is that no bills adversely impacting the civil justice system have passed out of any committee, much less either chamber of the legislature. The news from this week of most surprise to us was the workers' compensation bill that we have been anticipating for several weeks, again was not dropped. We believe it will be dropped next week, but most surprisingly we are told that it will not contain the implementation of medical treatment guidelines, an issue that was of great concern to many of our members who represent injured workers all over the state of Georgia, who were concerned that medical treatment guidelines would end up in a reduction in the access to medical treatment that injured workers need. The bill will still be introduced next week. It will have a few minor technical changes to the Workers' Compensation Act and may include a modest increase in temporary total disability as well as temporary partial disability benefits that injured workers would be entitled to. Stay tuned though, because we're not sure exactly what the bill may actually include now that a piece of major interest to the business community has been removed from the bill. Another bill that drew a lot of our attention this week was a bill dealing with bad faith litigation with insurance companies. House Bill 960 was dropped yesterday by Representative Roger Lane from Darien, Georgia. HB 960 is by no means a compromise. In fact, it is the insurance industry's bill. We continue to negotiate with Representative Roger Lane, Representative Ed Lindsey, and Senator Bill Cowser, who are working with GTLA and with the insurance industry trying to strike a compromise on this bill. The two issues that are most important are how long of a time should insurance companies have to consider settlement demands, and how do we address, if possible through legislation, enforceable valid liens. Those are difficult issues to wrestle to the ground, but we are working collaboratively with the legislators to protect your clients' interests and to protect your practices and really to protect your ability to make insurance companies do right by not only your clients but by their insureds. Stay tuned to see how that bill moves. We expect it to be in committee next week, and we will be working diligently on that. Another piece of information from this week of interest, the medical malpractice change that we've anticipated for a number of weeks that would get rid of the trial system, the jury trial for victims of medical malpractice, and put those cases in administrative hearings. That bill has not been introduced. We are now almost halfway through the legislative session, almost too late for a bill of that magnitude to get through the process. We do anticipate a number of bills moving through the session next week that will be of importance to our members and your clients. House Bill 685, the dog bite bill. Most importantly, that bill would remove the one free bite rule that many Georgians have suffered under for years and years, and we hope that that bill will pass out of committee and move on to the House floor. It should be heard in committee on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, House Bill 397, a bill to change the open records and open meetings law, will be heard in committee. That bill is important to trial lawyers and to plaintiffs because as originally introduced, there was a provision that would preclude plaintiffs from using Open Records Act requests during pending litigation. We have had that provision removed from the bill, and we believe that it would pose no threat now to the rights of plaintiffs. There is likely to be a bill next week dropped dealing with product liability, and we have a number of our lawyers who are experts in the area of product liability engaged in that bill. We'll have more information for you on that next week. And as usual next week, we anticipate there will be the usual litany of immunity bills either introduced or moved towards committee, and we will continue to be vigilant and oppose any bill or any legislative measure that might take away your client's Seventh Amendment right to trial by a jury. That's all we have from the Capitol this week. We're going to turn you now to a few more clips from our members who've been participating in our Lawyer of the Day program here at the Capitol. We encourage you to participate in that program. Be down here, be a resource, not only for GTLA, but most importantly, be a resource for your legislators. If you want to track the legislation that we're watching, go to the GTLA website, go to our Capital Impact program through that website, and you see there a list of all of the bills we're tracking. And if you see one of interest to you that you can give us your input on, please get in touch with us right away so that you can better enable us to stand up for your clients' rights here at the Georgia State Capitol. Again, that's all we have for you this week. Be back with us next week so you can continue following our progress through the 2012 legislative session. Thank you.
Just can't stress enough how important it is for us as trial lawyers to be involved in the process and to take a little bit of time out of our day to really stand up for what we fight for every day in the courtrooms around the state. And it's a great experience. I'll certainly do it again, and I encourage every member of the Trial Lawyers Association to participate.
I'm Robert Glass. I am of counsel with Cash, Krugler & Fredericks and spent today down at the state capitol doing Lawyer of the Day. I'd highly recommend it. I had the unique privilege of asking 31 freshmen in high school if they had heard of the McDonald's hot coffee case, and every single one of them raised their hand. So I think that's the reason why more lawyers need to get down here and spread the word amongst our constituents and citizens that the civil justice system has an important role in our society.
I'm James Robeson with Cash, Krugler & Fredericks, their associate, and certainly would encourage everyone to come down and do Lawyer for the Day. It's an invaluable experience to meet with your representative and also representatives and senators from other districts, and just an opportunity to introduce yourself and let them know that we care about the civil justice system and certainly are engaged in the process and want to make sure that things are being done in the right way. And what we've been able to do today has been a really good opportunity, and certainly appreciate the folks who have allowed us to be here today.
Yeah, thanks to our lobbying team.
Yeah, they did a great job.
With the GTLA's political action team, and thoroughly enjoyed meeting the legislature, seeing them at work, also seeing our team as they advocated for responsible legislation that preserves the right to jury trial as well as responsibility and accountability. Proud to be here, and I encourage others to come on down, see your legislatures.